Peace, Queens. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Wombversation. This is a topic that a lot of women are maybe not so aware of. Like kind of like what is a Wombversation first of all, and then how do I know what my womb's voice sounds like? So Wombversation is when you sit down and you basically ground yourself and you listen to the voice of your womb. And it's going to take a little while for you to kind of get to know what this voice sounds like. In my previous video, I talked a little bit about Wombversation in relation to yoni steaming, but today we're going to talk about Wombversation just like as your gut instinct, specifically when you're dealing with a partner, whether your preference is male or female. How do you know when the womb is telling you that they don't want to be involved with a particular person? So Wombversation starts out as an exercise, okay? When when you first start out this process, you're basically going to sit down, you're going to get grounded, whatever grounded means for you, whether that means you start out by meditation, whether that means you take a few minutes to just do some deep breaths. However you ground yourself, that's what you're going to do. After you ground yourself, you're going to sit, and I personally lay, but some people prefer to sit in meditation position. I personally lay down flat, and when I lay down flat, I place my left hand, I know I'm reversed from you guys, but my left hand over my right hand, and then place that, let's say this is my womb, over my womb. And I just sit and I take a deep breath. And I do it again. And again. And I'm still. And as I'm laying, I'm not trying to control my thoughts. I'm not trying to control what it is that is coming through my mind, like in meditation. I'm just totally laying there still and quiet. And there's two ways that you can do this exercise. The first way that you can do it is you can lay for 5 or 10 minutes and then journal what you hear your womb say to you or what thoughts come through your mind. And then the other way that you can do it is you can lay, maybe play some meditation music, very silent, very softly. And then after you play your meditation music, maybe you want to turn your phone on. So like if your phone has an app for video recording or voice recording, turn this app on, okay? And speak out loud what it is that you hear, whatever your thoughts are that comes to you. So for example, say my menstrual cycle is coming on and I'm laying in the bed. I might hear my womb say, I'm achy, or I'm sad, or I don't feel like being bothered today. Whatever it is, the thought that comes to you, 9 times out of 10, this is the voice of your womb. Now, this voice is going to sound like what people call your subconscious mind or your thoughts. You're going to think it's just random thoughts coming through at first. But the more you do this exercise and the more you tap into your womb and what your womb sounds like, you're going to begin to hear the same kind of tune of a voice. Now, spirit and voice has two different sounds to it. Spirit is like an outside channeling, kind of like a aha epiphany moment. Like, oh, wow, I would have never thought about that. But the womb of your voice is like this subtle kind of voice that you hear within yourself throughout the day, right? And so as you're tapping into this, the whole point of Wombversation is you want to kind of get to know what is your womb communicating to you on a regular basis. Around our menstrual cycles, our womb has one voice. Around the time that we're getting ready to be intimate with our partner, our womb has another voice. Around the time that the moon is going through different phases and the eclipse are coming in, like specifically right now, this is a high lunar eclipse time, right? And so during these different lunar eclipses, we're going to be hearing our womb voice saying things, okay? And you want to be journaling this, because what this is going to do is it's going to make sure that it always keeps you in tune with the sound of your voice, which the sound of your womb, which the sound of your womb is connected to your heart chakra, and your heart chakra and your womb is also connected to the divine feminine. And so you're going to always be making sure, and this is also a way for you to make sure that you always stay in tune with the divine feminine inside of you. Okay, so maybe another video I will actually show what my Wombversation looks like, through an actual exercise, and kind of give you an idea of what this process looks like. Okay. But I want you guys to do this and to practice this on a regular basis. If you can start out practicing it, maybe just start out with the full moon of every month or the new moon of every month. Or if you want to do Sundays of, every week, start out one time, okay, a month that you can be consistent with it. If you want to do it new moon, do it new moon. Okay, so every new moon, look at your, the new moon calendar, and every new moon, sit down and have a Wombversation, and then journal what you hear. And then slowly but surely add on time that you're sitting down and you're actually listening to your womb, okay? Because this is going to make sure that you're always grounded. And then what will begin to happen is when you go out into into the universe with other people, and you go out in your surroundings and the environment, and you're flustered and you're all over the place, you can literally sit down and ground yourself, and without placing your hand over your womb, just like, even if you're in your car, in the middle of traffic, you're feeling flustered, or your cycle is coming on, or you're having a problem with your mate, just sit down, 3 deep breaths, and then ground yourself. And just listen. And I promise you, your womb is going to begin to speak louder than you have ever imagined. And you're going to be able to tap into a power and into a wisdom inside yourself that you probably never knew existed. And this Wombversation, when you get familiar with it, will also begin to tell you about your mate. So some women, for example, I have a really good girlfriend of mine. She was going through a little bit of a problem with her mate, right? And her mate was away on a trip. And when he came back, all of a sudden, like, her period wasn't due, her cycle was not due, but all of a sudden, instantly, she started bleeding. And I remember her calling me and saying, "Queen, what do you think that means? Like, what do you think that means?" Now, later on in hindsight, hindsight is always 20/20 for us. Her womb was telling her, once, some other things transpired in her relationship, and some deep, dark secrets came out about her relationship. Her womb was telling her, I don't want him in me. I don't want him in me. I don't want him around me. Totally shut down. And, the womb has a way of shutting down when you don't have the willpower or the guts to say, you know what, I don't want to deal with you, John, Bob, whoever their name may be. I'm good. I just want to be with me today. I just want to chill with me. Your womb has a way of demanding that you respect her, demanding that you pay attention to what she's been telling you. And she'll do that through randomly making your period come on, or, cramping all of a sudden. You go to be intimate with your partner, and all of a sudden then you're cramping and you don't feel like it, or getting like a burning sensation, not in your vagina, but in like the pit of your gut. And then all of a sudden, then you got a headache and you're flustered, and then you just need to take a nap. You don't want to be intimate. I mean, your womb will send you signs. When you don't listen to her, she sends you signs. And it's so important as women that we tap into what our womb is telling us, because if we listen to her, she will not guide us wrong. I promise you, she will not guide you wrong. So sisters, I'm not going to rant anymore. I wanted this to be a quick little video because I was really feeling inspired about talking about Wombversation. I'm going to make a couple of other videos, so click down below, look at the link in videos that I post dealing with Wombversation following this one. But I just really want you guys, and I really want us in 2020 to be focusing and operating out of focusing our energy on and operating out of 2020 vision. Okay, we don't want to make mistakes. We don't want to redo old past habits. We don't want to relive things that we see are issues within us. things that we see are maybe shortcomings of our own or things that we want to work on, however you want to word it. We don't want to keep on repeating these things because the universe, after a while, kind of gets like, okay, I taught you this lesson. I gave you a small nudge. I taught you this lesson again and I gave you a slap. I taught you this lesson again. Now I got to straight up flat you. Okay. And you know, the universe will kick our behinds. The higher power, whatever you call it, God, the creator, Allah, the universe, it will sit you down if you don't listen. We don't want that. We want to be tapped in all the time to the divine. We want to always be tapped into our womb power because through our womb is how we manifest the life that we desire. Okay, so stay tuned for more good videos about womb manifestation, which are coming up next. Look down below in the description box. Don't forget to like and subscribe this. Share it with your sister friends who may be having some issues, you know, with their womb. Possibly trying to figure out, you know, what's going on with their womb or with their cycles. Don't forget to send them this series of videos. I love you guys and peace.